your paw until mainnet is launched, you get a bonus on your staking. But details about that bonus or multiplier have not been put out yet.
Alrighty then. That's I read that and I'm like, okay, so that's kind of sort of vague as to what that multiplier will be. And according to Pakishi, I don't know if that's the proper way to pronounce that, the multiplier will depend on the testnet participation and some other factors, which is why it hasn't been disclosed yet. Alrighty, I can get behind that. Last question.
Well, you get rewarded for staking for longer.
Okay, I can get behind that. That's fine. Last question, and this has sort of been discussed, and everybody thinks that this is robust and fabulous, but I'm still a little fuzzy on this one. So walk me through this. I've staked on other platforms before, and I'm thinking to myself, 8%. Some people are like, yippee yahoo! I'm happy about that, but I'm still on the fence of going 8%. That sounds a little flimsy to me. It sounds a little low, considering that there are less than 10,000 holders. You're talking about a quad of tokens that will be spread across 20 different blockchains. I would presume, and still you would have a massive amount left over. So why is it 8%, and why isn't it higher than that?
Okay, so next question for Pokishi is, how was that 8% chosen for the staking?
Yeah, pretty much. Let's go with that. And then I'm done. I'm going to step down.
Steve tells us, hey, we don't have enough tokens. We want more.
Yeah, because by the time it gets spread around.
But it's a good question. How we picked the 8%.
The Discord activity has been phenomenal. I think we're up to what, 2460 something members now. It's been fantastic.
Steady growing.
Yeah, 2600 now. Yeah, so that's been really good to see. It's growing fast.
Okay, so Pokishi just responded. I'm going quickly through his answer. Okay, so basically he's saying he had to calculate this based on the existing supply, and we had to basically go with an amount that makes sense in terms of putting enough supply and liquidity on those other chains while also allowing enough for the rewards. So it was basically compromise between what the supply is allowing us to pay in rewards and how much supply we need on those other chains. Does that make sense? Does that? Ah, he left. Okay. I can see him in chat, but yes, basically
Yeah, he
that's how
said
the
okay.
8% was chosen.
He said his next answer was 8% is only for the first adoption round of staking. As the usage increases and as the fees increase, the rewards will increase too.
Which really makes long-term staking appealing, doesn't it?
Yes, like I done told DJ we're gonna take all our tokens, and not just once.
I think Florida Keys NFTs was the next one that wanted to ask a question.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
everybody?
Oh, go ahead.
How are
Sorry.
you? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Great, man. I got to give you a big shout out, brother. Great art that you put in the media section. If I haven't checked that out, go by the media's channel in the Paul Discord. Man, this dude put some great art in there. Great art, brother. Keep it coming.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. Just doing what I can for the community. I love y'all and doing what I can to help out. So my initial question was already answered, but I do have another one. In the Medium, it says about the PawSwap staking program, it'll remain active for 52 weeks after launch or until the release of PawChain's mainnet, whichever comes first. So I guess my question is, after that, what is going to be the deciding factor on what happens next? So if we get the PawChain mainnet, that happens before 52 weeks, are we going to still be at that 8%, or will that be adjusted due to the usage of the PawChain network?
Yep, yeah, I saw Pokishi typing, so I'm sure he'll answer this. I would suspect that how do you say this, the 13-week cycles will be completed, but I'll let Pokishi answer this. Hi, Pokishi. I think his question was actually more a matter of, let's presume that the mainnet comes in at week 50 and someone is still through the 13-week cycle. What happens to that cycle and to that percentage? Does it get completed or does it get reduced? Okay, perfect. So my suspicion was correct. So your 13-week cycle will get completed, but then you will no longer be able to start a new one. Does that
Excellent.
answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. I did have one more. Is the ability to unstake your WPAW, is that going to be an option on the user interface? So if I've earned my rewards and I have my WPAW, is there going to be like a click down menu? Like I want to unlock it on BNB or Polygon. is that going to be something within the user interface, or is that something we'll have to do manually outside of the PawSwap website?
I believe it'll all be done in PawSwap, but let's let Pokishi answer that.
Excellent.
I might have some new listeners, Boshi. So whenever we're speaking of staking, in regards to staking, we are talking about PawEcosystem.com, correct? As far as the platform.
Say that again, sorry.
For some of the newer listeners, whenever we're talking about staking, in regards to staking, where will we, what platform are we speaking of? The PawEcosystem.com, correct?
The proper PawSwap is not out yet, so you will have to wait for that information.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about whenever it does come out, though. That'll be the correct place to go straight. Correct.
Yes, absolutely. It will be on the website, and it will
Cool.
the connection will be made.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just
website.
wanted to kind of freshen up for some of the newer listeners, so let them know it will be coming out, and that's where you'll be doing your staking and stuff like that.
Yes. Also, Pokishi just confirmed, yes, you'll be able to unwrap your WPO within the platform. It'll be just a simple click kind of user interface, so it'll be very simple to use.
Excellent. That, I think, is such a huge factor for what's going on here. The user interface is such a huge thing for newcomers into the crypto space. And the easier we can make things to use for people who may not be familiar with crypto is going to add such a huge thing to adoption. So kudos to Pokishi. I appreciate your answers that you've given. I'd also like to send kudos out to all the admins in this chat. Y'all are doing a great job, and you make it a wonderful place to hang out. So thank you all for all your hard work.
Thank you very much. We all really appreciate. And also, Pokishi confirmed that yes, you will be able to pick your network on which you'll unwrap on within the platform itself with a simple click, basically.
Excellent. Kudos, y'all.
Thank you very much for coming. We've got Kraken next in line. Good to see you, Kraken.
Oh, I just wanted to stop by, say hi to everybody, and just help out.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you there, brother.
Now, I wonder if there's any more people that want to ask questions, or otherwise, you guys also feel free to ask questions in the chat, because both Pokishi, Steve, myself, Kraken, we're all keeping an eye on that chat. So if you're a bit microphone shy, feel free to throw your questions in the chat, or otherwise feel free to request to speak on stage.
Hey, you guys, I have a question. I'm a bit confused by the ST Paul versus the rat Paul. What's the difference?
Basically, the rat Paul is what you get as a reward for staking, and that you'll be able to move across blockchains. So you'll be able to unwrap on different blockchains. While the ST PAW is basically your receipt that you have staked your PAW. So let's say, for example, you've staked 1 billion PAW, you will get 1 billion ST PAW as a receipt. And now on top of that 1 billion ST PAW, you will receive 8% in W PAW. But it's basically just a receipt. Do not move those tokens. Those tokens will have to stay in the wallet in which you've staked in. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you. Because I was confused. I was like, nah, I know what W Paul is, but what's ST Paul? Like,
No, it's
thank you
basically
so
a
much.
receipt to say, yes, you staked this many tokens. While W PAW is the reward you receive for having staked those tokens.
Okay. And did you see Wales' question in the chat? He's asking, what is the frequency of WPAW rewards to the stakers every hour, day, week, or month? STPAW is the receipt for both 13 weeks, locked or non-locked.
Yep, I was seeing Pokishi writing earlier. Could you answer that
Okay.
for us, Pokishi? How often do the WPO rewards get paid or accumulated? Okay, so Pokishi offered a little bit more insight into the ST-PO, saying that it'll also be used for DAO functions, for other whale access programs, bonus programs, and so on. So basically, those tokens act as a receipt and as evidence of the amount of tokens you have staked. Okay, so that answers the questions. Basically, they get accumulated in real time, the W4. So I suspect by real time means minute by minute, second by second, or so on. You have a live count of how much you're accumulating as time goes by.
Can I ask a quick follow-up question on that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
On the second part where it said that there's two types of ST-PAW based on the 13-week versus the non-locking. For logistics reasons, is it recommended to keep both? So I'm not doing 100% 13 weeks. I'd like to de-risk. So I want some of it to be 13 weeks. I want some of it to be non-locked, right? But staked. Can I have both of those living in the same wallet, or should I split the wallets? Thanks. That's
Most likely you will be able. So chances are there will be different tokens with just different code that will live in the same wallet. But I'll let Pokishi confirm that. People wanted to know what's the whale's access programs. It's cooking with Kraken. I couldn't agree more. That's the best rewards. Yes. So Pokishi confirmed you can have different stake receipts in the same wallet. Because obviously you might even choose to stake different amounts at different times. So obviously your ST-PO tokens will account for when your staking started, what type of staking you've done, and so on.
perfect. I just didn't want to make a mistake. And if I stake at different intervals of 13 weeks, I just don't want to accidentally choose the wrong one, and I get a 10% penalty for staking too early, unstaking too early.
That's actually a good question. A good question. Could you confirm that, Pokishi, that the interface will actually allow to stake, unstake the tokens based on the date they were staked in?
If not, I'll just put them in different wallets so I don't mess it up.
Don't worry, NFK, we haven't forgotten about you. I'm just letting Pokishi answer this last question, and then it's your turn. Still there, NFK?
Yeah,
No
still here.
around? Beautiful, beautiful. Just I'll call
Thank
you
you.
NFK, otherwise your name
Yeah,
is
yes.
too long.
I had to change that. All good.
Don't worry, you're next. We're letting Pokishi finish, and then it's on you.
All right.
Better Rebels if you want to, man. We can give away some NFTs. We got plenty to give away, so we got a couple winners picked if you're down with that.
We always want to make sure we answer all the questions. We don't want people to leave here wondering, wait, what the hell did that mean? So if we can clear all doubts today, that would be good.
Yeah, cool, no worries.
Okay. So basically, Pokishi does recommend if you planning to do different stakings at different timings to separate in different wallets, just for ease of usability. Basically, the smart contract will know, but if you have 20 different staking entries, then it's probably best to use different wallets to avoid unstaking the wrong tokens. That's in the scenario where you decide, for example, I want to stake 100 today, 200 tomorrow, 100 the day after, 150 the day after. If you stake all at once, you have no issues. But if you have different entries, it might make more sense to use different wallets for the different entries. And now it's your turn, NFK.
Beautiful. Awesome. I kind of missed the first half an hour into this, and I'm just trying to put I guess a name to the voice that we're talking with. Is this the developer? One of the developers that's
Yes,
speaking?
indeed.
Yes, right.
Indeed.
I'm very happy to hear a voice to all of this. Now,
I'm not a developer. Don't get me wrong. Pokishi is the developer, so
Pokishi.
he's in writing. He's in the chat. I'm just relaying what he's saying.
Beautiful.
So no, we have not heard his voice yet. That's what you needed to satisfy your curiosity.
Yes, absolutely. So that's great. You know, I was wondering, and just for all intents and purposes, just to verify facts, I heard down the pipeline, I believe on Discord, I think Steve was mentioning, or it was you guys are pending a new listing that's coming up with, I believe the platform is called Rabbit Coin Loans. Is that correct so far?
Yes, we haven't discussed that with them. They've decided to do that. They've done a competition on Twitter.
Yes.
And we won that competition because we have such a strong community. And then they decided, yes, they will list Paw, which is a loan platform, I think. So basically, you offer your Paw as collateral to borrow against it. But yes, they've done all by themselves. The community has voted for it, and just like that, we've got a new listing.
Just like that. And that's all. That's pretty much what I wanted to hear. Because, yeah, I just didn't know what exactly that was. You just sort of answered it. That was like my next question about what is this platform about? Why did you all go after them to get their interest to get listed? So
Yeah, they've decided to list. They liked us.
yeah,
Or maybe the community liked them and they wanted to have Paw on their platform. But yes, it was purely on their end.
I'm gonna tell you what. I got this. I'm gonna share this on YouTube or somewhere down the road.
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic, because if they hear this, then it's like, oh wow, there's a voice behind all this, and it's confirmation, transparency. So you just pretty much answered that question I had there, focused on that. So you plug in your crypto asset as collateral in Rabbit Coin. Is that I understand that?
Basically, yes. I've never used Rabbit Coin, so I can't tell you exactly what their terms and conditions are.
I gotta look at that.
they've listed by themselves. I never use long protocols, so I'm not too familiar with it. Now, if someone else in this chat is, feel free to answer.
Yeah, that's new to me, but that's pretty neat. But yeah, I'm going to get off on that. Maybe I'll have another question down the road here, but in the time being, great to hear you guys. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining. Have a great day.
Yeah, y'all too.
Have a good day, man.
It's called Coin Rabbit. um, so
Yeah, I was about to say, if anybody has like any questions about that, they would be the best people to answer that. We, like I said, we have no control over the platform.
let's see.
Absolutely.
Oh, one more thing. We get the next question. So these questions that we're having is gonna help us with the wiki documents. Just want to remind you guys. And also if you feel help out, if we have a channel here in Discord, so we can be part of it. Put your help out with the documents, with the wiki. So all these questions are really great, so we can add them on or work on them, have it for the community, because I'm pretty sure there's many more they're gonna come out. So thank you. Myself on mute again.
Yep, sorry, I was answering a question in chat. Just a second.
If we don't have any more questions, Mr. Fabio has a question. He asked it in the chat. I'm going to read it. Let's see here. It says, he says, hello, thanks for the AMA. If we want to stake our rewards, will we need to unwrap our WPAW and then stake it, or will our accrued rewards continue to collect APR? I think what he's basically asking is if we stake our stuff and we don't take it out at the end of our quote unquote staking term, will it continue to accrue, or do we have to unstake it at the time? Will it stop collecting?
Could you repeat the question? I was sorry, just 1 second. I was in chat typing.
And so he's basically asking if we stake our tokens for like a 13-week period and we don't unstake them, will it continue accruing rewards, or will it stop automatically?
From the medium, it says it will continue to accrue at that 8%, but I will let Pokishi confirm. But yes, the medium did mention that if you decide not to unstake, you can keep accruing 8% and then can unstake whenever you want.
Okay, and here's my question. I have a follow-up question to that one. So if we lock it up for a certain time period and we don't unlock it at the end of that term and we just let it sit there, will it automatically renew the thing for an additional time period, or can we take it out without a penalty?
You can take it out without a penalty. So say, for example, you want to take it out at week 15. On week 14 and week 15, you still get your 8% APR.
Okay, cool.
I'll let Pokishi confirm, but this is my understanding from the medium.
Fabio.
He's also saying the rewards will not get automatically restaked, so basically compounded, so you'll have to do that yourself. And yes, after 13 weeks is your minimum for staking for the lock period. Afterwards, you can unstake at any point you wish, and you will still receive your 8% APR. So say you want to stake for 30 weeks, for the whole 30 weeks, you'll get your 8% APR, and you can unstake on week 30, week 31, week 32, whenever you want.
Thank you, guys.
We have Max Power 76.
Hey everybody.
Hello,
can you
Max.
hear me? Hello,
Yes,
Boshi.
yes, we can. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. I'm starting to like those voice stages.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, my question already got answered. So hey, no big deal. Just wanted to say hi.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect, perfect. And this is what we want. Want everyone's questions today to get answered, whether it's in chat or whether it's in voice. So if anyone listening to us has any more questions, please feel free to put your hand up and come on stage, or otherwise ask them in chat. We got our eyes on the chat as well.
Yes, sir. And thank you for coming up and letting us hear your beautiful voice, because we don't get to hear people's voices in the chat. We just see words. So thank you for letting us hear your voice and get to know you.
Well, I like to make it a rare occurrence. Has to be a special event for me to give my voice out there.
Well, we are blessed with your presence, sir.
I can see Pokishi typing, so we'll see what he's saying. Okay, he's answering people in the chat. So, Shibalicious, do you see any other people putting their hands up for questions?
Yes, I had another question here from the broke is. I'm assuming that's how he pronounces his name. He says, sorry, perhaps a dumb question or a noob question. Also, sorry for the ugly English. Listen, don't apologize for your English. It's okay. Half the people speaking English can't talk English anyway. But if I if I stake my paw on testnet and get rewards as W paw, when the lock period is over and the mainnet is online, will I have to transfer tokens to the MM as a wallet example, then transfer tokens to stake on mainnet? I think he's asking if I understand this question correctly. I think he's asking if sorry about that, my dog is barking. If you stake your tokens on the test net and then the main net opens, do they automatically transfer to the main net, or do you have to unstake and then restake on the main net?
So basically, this is the first round of staking used to spread that supply on different blockchains, which will be very different from the type of staking will happen after the 52 weeks. So after 52 weeks, then the staking will have more of a validator purpose for the Paw chain. So this first round of staking is purely to spread that supply. So it's different types of staking. I don't know if that answers the person's questions, but basically the two types of staking will not overlap, except for those week 52, 53, 54, while some people will still have some of their 13-week cycles. But afterwards, they will no longer overlap.
Okay, so if we stake our tokens on this first round of now, am I understanding it correctly too? Because I apologize, I haven't read the medium yet. But if we stake on the test net, and I'm understanding that the test net is going to be for 1 year, 52 weeks. Is that correct?
This is not quite a testnet. So a testnet basically it's a platform on which you test things.
Okay, so it's not a test net.
No.
Okay.
This is an actual staking. We're not testing things. We're actually staking things.
Oh, okay. Well, that's wonderful. Okay, cool. So I was confused about that too. So thank you for the clarification, because I was like, wait, I was thinking that in my brain, but I was just running with it. But anyway, okay, so cool. So this, to be clear, this first round of staking is not a test. It is legit staking, and we're getting our rewards. It's not a test with test coins. So with that being said, after the first staking round, that'll end. So then the next staking round is different, right?
Correct. Yes. So you'll be making money this first staking round. You'll be making money the second staking round. It's just different processes. So this first process is to spread supply. Second process is basically for validators and to get PawChain up and running.
Okay, and what is the 52-week period that we keep mentioning about? Like, what is that for? Is that like how many weeks we all have to stake the first round, or is it that, or what is that doing with or dealing with?
So basically, that's how long we expect until PawChain comes out. So until PawChain comes out, the focus will be on spreading that supply.
Oh,
If PawChain
perfect.
happens to
Okay.
come out earlier, let's presume instead of 52 weeks, it comes out in 26 weeks, then this first round will end in 26 weeks, presuming PawChain comes out in 26 weeks. So basically, the idea is to do this type of staking to spread supply until PawChain comes out.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So thank you so much for that, because I mean, I'm a bit slow sometimes. So I had to like ask. I'm sorry.
Don't be. And we have Pokishi here writing, so I'll let him write as well. Okay, no, he was answering someone. Increasingly need higher liquidity as well. Okay. So anyone else has? Oh, Whale is back. Hello, Whale.
Sorry, a couple of questions. It's about
Go
gas
for it.
fees. So I'm assuming just like other staking platforms, we're paying gas for staking, for retrieving the awards, and for unstaking. I'm assuming that's typical, but I just wanted everyone to understand that and maybe validate that.
Yes, absolutely. Everything happening on Ethereum has a gas fee, and I don't think Pokishi will pay for it, but we'll let confirm.
Okay.
Okay, so he's saying we're gonna make sure the gas cost involved with staking will be minimized as much as possible using our own ledger system, which I
Okay,
don't know what that
perfect.
means.
That's interesting. The second question is, just to validate, we're not going to be able to unwrap our PAW rewards until the bridge is audited by Certic and that audit's completed. Is that correct?
Yes, according to the medium, your WPO will only be able to be unwrapped once the bridging goes live.
And that doesn't matter if it's on Ethereum or any of the networks.
Pokishi mentioned you can pick up your own network in the platform itself. So when it comes time to unstake your WPO, you'll simply click, hey, I want to unstake on this chain or that chain, and it will automatically do so for you.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Just wanted to make sure.
Anyone else with questions? Put your hands up if you have questions, or Shibalicious if anyone else messaged you with questions.
Yeah, I was looking through here to see if somebody answered this question. Let me go back because I didn't see it. Hold on. There's one at the bottom here, but hold on. Let me go back and find where the question was.
I got a quick one real quick. If you don't mind,
Yeah, go ahead.
all right, but you might know this. It's a very simple question. So, just for like a reference, I know like on ShibaSwap you could actually stake in like 10%, 25%, 50 or 100%. You had the option to stake a different percentage of whatever amount you had in your wallet. Will it be the same setup via the PawSwap?
I would strongly believe so, but I will let Pokishi confirm. Can you confirm, Pokishi, that everyone will be able to stake the amount they want to stake, whether as a percentage of their total value or as a direct amount? Yes, you can pick the percentage of the token amount. So yes, we can confirm that.
Awesome. Asset. Yeah, thank you so much for adding that in. Because I don't know if that's an important feature, but I love it. So thank you. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you for coming in and asking.
So, Whale5 had another question. He says, will unretrieved WPAW from staking be included in the APR returns?
Repeat that.
He says, will unretrieved WPOL from staking be included in the APR returns?
Basically, are you asking if any unused WPOL will be given to everyone else?
I don't quite understand his question. Mr. Whale 5, if you're still on the thing, can you ask?
I think they answered it earlier. What I was
Okay.
saying is, as it's accumulating and we can't access our WPON until the bridge is actually ready, will they? I don't think so because it'll be compounded. But I guess my question was, will it be added to the APR as it sits there? Because I don't know how long that's going to take for the bridge to get done. What if it takes 3 months, 4 months, and we have a bunch of WPOL just compounding there, but we can't actually use it, right? We can't unwrap it, we can't move it, just sitting there.
You're asking if you can compound it, make it into normal POL, basically, to then restake normal POL.
Yeah, because again, it's just going to be sitting there, right? So we're going to be accumulating WPOL. I can't do anything with it until the bridge is done, right?
Correct. So the medium does mention that it gets locked into the contract until the bridging goes live.
Right. So, but
unless I misinterpreted,
okay.
Pokishi, let me know. But I'm pretty confident that
we're not going to be able to get any APR off that WPOL. Pause. What my point is. Oh, okay. So I can do it.
Okay, his answer,
manually.
yes.
Okay, gotcha. So I will be able to manually compound if I want to. So like every week, if I want to hit the button, it should take my WPOL and stake it as POL.
Yep. Yeah. So let me read just 1 second. Oh no, you would need to manually restake. But before the bridge releases, you will be able to restake manually using. Okay. So you will be able to manually restake on the platform itself your WPOL. Okay, that's good. I like that. So yes, you can basically compound. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it's just manual, but that's fine. I'll take it.
Okay, I see some people asking in chat if we can update the roadmap. We will definitely be looking at updating the roadmaps, but I don't have any updates at this point in time. But definitely we will update with everything that's happening. Development is going so quick that the roadmap will sort of need to keep up with it. Ledger. So yes, most definitely you can connect your ledger to MetaMask and then use the MetaMask interface for the staking. Is something I need
Yes,
to
that's correct. I have a ledger myself.
Someone was asking if for every restake they need to pay gas, and Pokishi was basically saying he doesn't want to answer that straight away because we're looking at systems to minimize the gas for so many processes of staking and unstaking. But basically, we're looking at ways to minimize the gas cost for staking, especially if people want to stake at different dates and in different ways, either locked or unlocked and so on. Someone else is asking if that staking can be done through Ledger Live or MetaMask. I don't know about Ledger Live, but definitely by connecting through MetaMask will be doable. So we'll answer that. Will there be an option in the future to stake other tokens? Ooh, I don't think so, but I will leave that for Pukishi. Have you seen that question in chat, Pukishi? Someone asking TS now 211 is asking if there will be an option to stake other tokens. I wouldn't think so, is it? Okay, someone is asking if we're able to stake on CEXs, and I'll respond to this person that basically it's up to the CEXs, to the exchanges, if they want to introduce staking to their customers or not, but it's not something that we do on our end, the staking on exchanges. Okay, another response from Pokishi regarding the gas. He's saying that we're working to make gas fees minimum in staking PAW tokens. We're also working to make gas fees zero to restake rewards. At this moment, both are minimized. The zero gas compound restaking of rewards is the one thing I can't promise yet. But he's obviously aiming for it. So it looks like all the work is going towards absolutely minimize the gas cost for staking. Let's see what other projects or other questions are out there. Okay, Stevenson is asking whether will there be a guide on how to stake through a ledger. So definitely we'll be working on guides on how to do that, possibly even videos. So we'll make sure that all the information is out there so people don't do mistakes when they want to stake. I see Bone Advocate had a request to speak. I don't know if he's here. Are you here, Bone Advocate?
I'm here.
Perfect, perfect. Did you have a question?
I do. It's more of a statement. It's not really a question. Something I've noticed on CoinGecko is you folks have listed on a number of exchanges, and yet CoinGecko has not been updated with that list of updated exchanges. Might I suggest that someone go take a look at that and inform them that you're now listed here, 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 and here? Just a thought.
Yeah, I'll have a look into CoinGecko. To be honest, I haven't looked at them, but I will have a look and we will get in contact with CoinGecko. But how fast they refresh their information, I am not sure. Oh, there we go. Steve said CoinGecko has been contacted, but their response is very slow. So it's a matter on their end to basically read their emails, I suppose. So sometimes those websites are slow in terms of communication. We've seen it multiple times.
I get that, but and I totally understand, that it's entirely up to them to update their data as often as possible. But from the outside looking in, I had two friends looking at investing in the token 2 or 3 days ago, and they're like, so they're not listed in a whole lot of places, are they? And I'm like, no, they've got like 10 or 12 listings. Well, not according to CMC, and the other one was like, well, not on CoinGecko, and I'm like, fuck me, Jesus Christ.
I absolutely share your frustration. When I see information that's not very correct on those websites, it is frustrating. We do our best to keep pressuring them, but we really have no power on that other than keep annoying them over and over and over. There's very little we can do in actually convincing them to update that information, which is upsetting. Don't get me wrong; it's frustrating for us as much as it's for users who look up that information.
Mr. Raboshi, while there's nobody answering or asking questions right now in the voice chat, can you explain for some of the newer people in the community who are concerned about the number of tokens, why the number of tokens is not really of concern to us? That what's going to happen to those tokens, where they're going to be spread, how that spread happens, that kind of thing.
Okay, so this is the $1 million questions that we get about 4 times an hour. So so the reason why we
I
have
like
such
this
a big
question.
supply. I've learned to hate it. I dream about this question every night. So basically, most people who ask for that, it's purely for a price speculation and to see some price action. Now, we've seen over and over that just suddenly burning a large amount of supply does absolutely nothing to price. So that's the first point I wanted to make. And the second point I wanted to make is that we need this supply because we need to spread it across so many blockchains. There's many needs and demands for this supply, which is for staking, which is for validating, which is for gas, which is for spreading supply on different blockchains, and also for liquidity pools. So at this point in time, everyone's holding their tokens in their wallets. But when you start having the tokens spread through staking contracts, validation, liquidity pools, and a bazillion blockchains, then you start seeing that supply starts spreading thin across all those places. So now it feels like it's a lot because it's just sitting in people's wallets. But once these utilities start coming into place, you will see that supply start spreading thin because it starts actually working. It starts actually serving a purpose.
I think I read something. I think just the other day, Boshi, I read something that said every other project before us or before Paul has been created for one network. And if you think about it like that, in that terms, it's been created for one lane of traffic. Where y'all are creating something for 16 different lanes, if that makes sense. So maybe that kind of helps out.
Basically, the idea of this project is to make crypto accessible to everyone, and to make crypto accessible to everyone, being so many blockchains and operating, with decentralized exchanges and wallets can be quite complex at times. So basically, the idea of this project is to make it all easy and to make it all meet in one place. Have all your blockchains in one place, all your cryptocurrencies in one place, and all can be basically operated with a simple click, as opposed to all the pain we have to go through now. People should not be worried about wrapping. People should not be worried about what a liquidity pool is. They should only be able to, I've got this token, I want to swap it for that token. I click and that's it, job done. Which is where this big supply comes into play. It's basically to allow for this system to work easy and to basically, in my idea, to push crypto adoption further, to allow more and more people to have access to crypto without needing to read 50 pages on how to use a decentralized exchange. Going through the chat. Steve's asking about the updated logo. Fokishi said he sent it out. Waiting on a response.
Hey, Roshi, NFK is trying to get a mic and I can't give it to him. Will you give it to him, or if you can?
Who am I giving a mic to?
There, he just got it. There you go.
Ah, beautiful.
All right.
NFK, did you have a question?
Yeah, can y'all hear me? Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep, we can.
Awesome. So this is more of I guess I don't know, this type of question. I think I tried asking it once before, but I'll bring it back up. And it was in the direction of attracting Binance, attracting Coinbase, attracting these bigger exchanges, right? For PawSwap to get listed on. So after everything is set in stone, you're on the path here with staking, the cross-chain bridge, the PawSwap aggregator, the CertTech audit is completed. So all that comes, the moons align and everything starts coming into picture. And after that, the big question is, how in order to get listed on these bigger exchanges, right? What numbers do these bigger exchanges like to see? I guess at a market cap value. I'm guessing at a holder value. I'm sure they take those into considerations. But do we know an actual number or a range where that attracts them?
How do I say this? They don't have numbers written in stone.
Sure.
They consider every project individually, and we can tell you they're attracted by us. But there's also a lot of requirements that need to be fulfilled, and by all means, we're focusing on those. But generally, the negotiation process in itself cannot be public, so we cannot disclose any of that. It's part of the process itself. But I think the best way to answer your question is they're definitely interested in us, and there's communication channels open. Now, when they think is, hey, bingo, this project is good enough for us. That's impossible even for us to say. They probably they don't even communicate with us when they say jackpot. Now you're the project we want, but they will give us guidelines. Hey, if you achieve this, if you achieve that, and then we move towards that. But we cannot discuss that negotiation process.
Good answer there. Guidelines. There it is. That pretty much solidifies that. But yeah, hey, big shout out to you guys. You got back on Twitter. That's awesome. And so did I.
It was
I
a
got
pain.
back.
It was a pain. There was a lot of systems that we had to put in place to make sure, or at least attempt, that it doesn't happen again. But nothing puts us down, brother. We keep fighting.
Yeah, I've noticed too that the drama has been almost near, at least in my experience, almost near, I guess, 100% muted. And that was clever. Whoever put that together, saying, if you want to be part of our Twitter community, we have to accept you. That was awesome.
Oh, that wasn't actually necessarily a clever thing. We just did that to protect the account because we knew allowing too many followers, it brought in the risks of bots. But when you don't allow the bots access to the account, they cannot report it and block it, because then their reports are no longer valid. So that was simply a safety measure. It was the best thing to do at that point in time to protect the account while we're chasing the gold tick, to make sure false reports don't come through to Twitter, because obviously their algorithm doesn't quite differentiate very well the type of reports coming through.
Right. Well, that was it. Yeah. Well, thanks for answering that question there. Awesome.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Right. Thank you for coming in today.
All right.
And I think that was, like you said, the best course of action, honestly, to self-preserve the Twitter page, right? Because that seemed to cause our holders a lot of panic, and whenever it gets cut down, because that cuts off the Twitter communication, right? And so to allow everybody to have that Twitter communication, we had to protect it. So I think you guys did a wonderful job strategically in doing that. And as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, when we had our AMA here, I had said something about, it's trying, instead of trying to go back and forth with the fudders and people who are causing this drama, just simply block them and let them talk their junk somewhere else. So you don't have to hear it and you're not engaging in that stuff, because what you focus on expands. So the more that we focus on the negative, the more that it's going to expand. If we can try to focus on the positive and the growth and the work and the development of the project, that's the positives, right? We want to focus on that. That's naturally going to expand. So,
Could I
Well said.
so,
just say something?
yeah.
I just wanted to ensure people that just because we're going through this process of manually approving followers, it does not mean that those followers have exclusive access to information. So all of the tweets that come on the account do get screenshotted and do get shared both on Twitter through other accounts and both here on Discord. So I want people to stay reassured that there's no secret information that some people have access to and others don't. We do make sure that the information still goes out there, even though people may or may not be approved as followers, they still have the same access to information.
Awesome.
But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys for doing that and for trying to keep the project safe and for being strategic on how we handle this stuff.
Thank you very much. Definitely, we appreciate the feedback. And if you stay tuned, you'll see more cooking classes with Kraken as well. So I missed a couple of episodes, but they're my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
One thing, Pakishi had to step out for a little bit. He said he left for a little bit, but he'll be back. So keep any questions for me pinned, and I'll answer them once I'm back again. So if you have any questions, please type them here and tag him. I'll keep an eye on them though as well. I cannot pin them on this chat. I don't have that option.
Don't ping him. All right. Just put your questions there, and then we will manually pin them for when he comes back. I don't want his phone to get blown up or anything.
Okay. We just manually. Okay, got it.
Also, a reminder for people to put their questions in the Dev Talks channel, because Okishi will get all of them and answer all of them properly in writing. So it's a little bit more chaotic when we do it in voice. But if you have any questions that require lengthy answers, your best bet is still to drop them in the Dev Talks questions here in the server, and you'll get the best answer possible and in writing, so you don't forget any information. I think I will also have to run, guys. I only accounted for about an hour and a half with this.
Me too.
But thank you very much for inviting us, Shibalicious and DJ. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. 21, I see you as well. You're the best, brother. You're an absolute legend. So thank you for every much you're doing.
Love you too, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll have to go now, but I love those spaces and keep doing what you guys are doing. Community engagement is very important, and you guys are absolutely killing it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming out tonight. Thank you for being here and meeting with us and letting us hear your voices. We appreciate it. We appreciate you, Raboshi and Annie Paul and Kraken and Paukishi and Steve and everyone that's here answering questions. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.